I had that video idea to do the roasting the exes thing for a long time. I've had that video idea for a long time. But my dad just so happened to be in town this last week, so I did it. So yeah, I'm gonna say, like, I don't regret. I regret zero parts of that video. It felt good because, like, I know that my dad said some things that were harsh, but you have to understand, imagine being a father and, I went straight to him after the breakup happened and I was in shock. Like, he sat next to me. He sat next to me as I was losing it, like he saw the worst of the worst days. And he knew it was because it was this guy that I had been with that I was so emotionally invested in. I was completely in love and I thought it was going to be a long-term thing and I was looking forward to things in the future. And to just get the rug pulled out from under you like that and to realize that none of it was really what you thought it was, oh, it was hard, okay? And my dad saw that. So imagine being a dad watching your kid go through that. You're going to be fucking pissed. Okay? And that's what he was. So if he wants to sit there and say Richie, looks like a woman, and if that makes him feel better and that makes me feel better, it is kind of funny, okay? I acknowledge that he's very effeminate. I tend to date effeminate guys. Obviously, it wasn't a problem for me whilst dating him, and it's still not a problem for me because I still kind of go for that kind of guy. It's my thing. That's something that I like. Not only. I would venture outside of that, but like it is a thing that I like. So it's not saying that like men who are more feminine aren't something I find attractive, but if someone like horrible to me and my dad wants to like call them names, I think it's fucking funny and I don't give a shit. Plus, like I said on my tweets, no real man would treat me the way that he treated me. It wasn't like he made a mistake and cheated on me one time. He cheated on me a couple of times with at least with 4 girls that I know of and that he admitted to me. That's a lot. The whole entire relationship was a lie. So my dad saw that happen and he's defensive. Oh my God, get off my ass. There are certain people, I had to block one girl on Twitter. And I know that she's butthurt about it, and I knew that she'd have a fun time screenshotting that I blocked her. But this girl cannot see the light because she's stuck so far up Richie's ass she can't see anything. And there are a couple people that are like that. They're just fans of his, and they don't care what he does or what he says. They will always be on his side, and they make negative videos about me. And it's just like, I don't need to see it, so I blocked her. I knew she'd get a happy, moment where she got to tweet the screenshot and feel all proud that I blocked her. But it's nothing personal. It's just I don't want to see her tweets. That's it. I don't think people will ever understand the gravity of the situation until they go through something like that. And I certainly hope that they don't, because no one, I don't care how horrible of a person you are or what you do, no one deserves to go through that kind of shit. It's awful. It's awful. And I think the worst part of it for me was that I poured my heart out to him, and he knew that I had dealt with being cheated on before, and he knew that I was scared of that, and he sat there and reassured me. He sat there and got frustrated with me whenever I would ask him if that was something that he was doing. When I was right. I would have little things that I'd be suspicious about, and he'd make me feel really guilty for even asking, because how dare you not trust me? I'm not your exes. Don't take that shit out on me. And like, it was like a mind game. He messed with my mind after everything I'd been through, and I think that's a super fucked up thing to do. So, yeah, I mean, I don't give a shit if my dad sits there and says he wants to beat the shit out of him. I want to beat the shit out of him. Like, would I do it? Would my dad ever actually do it? Of course not. And my dad, he even said he wanted to go to one of Richie's shows and haunt him and make him very uncomfortable. At no point in that did he say, I wanted to go there and like beat his face to a bloody pulp. He said I would want to go to the show and make him feel very uncomfortable. And then whenever we got the question, which ex is the most punchable, my dad said Richie. Yeah! That doesn't mean that he's gonna actually do it, or if he were in a room with him that he would actually be violent. My dad's never been violent a day in his life. He would never actually punch someone. But my God, if someone does that to your kid, if someone treats your daughter in that kind of way, if he violates their trust like that, it's it's kind of fun to think about them getting punched in the face. I don't think that that's a threat. I don't think that's abnormal. And for him to make a fucking pussy-ass bitch video like he always does, which, by the way, it was just my video re-uploaded that he just reacted to by smiling. He didn't even make commentary until the very end. And people gave me shit for it. They're like, oh, Jaclyn, you made that one video on Girl Defined where I did, what was it called? It was the, Oh, how to wear makeup in a God-honoring way. I made a video where I played the Girl Defined video and I did like super atheist makeup. That wasn't me just sitting there smiling doing nothing. Like I was making a point. I was making, you know, myself look very like, you know, gothic and just the opposite of what you would expect a religious makeup tutorial to be. So there was supposed to be some irony in that. There was a point. And I talked a little bit throughout that video. I made a couple of points. And I've already bashed Girl Defined so much at this point. Like, anyways. So comparing it to that, like Richie does this all the time, where he literally downloads someone's video, re-uploads it to his channel, and doesn't even make commentary. He just sits there. Like, it's one thing if you actually react, but if you just sit there and like smile like a fucking idiot and don't do anything else, like, okay. I'm not gonna like respond. People are asking me, are you gonna respond? Like, what am I supposed to respond to? People were also giving me shit saying like that I'm not over him. There is a very big difference, and I can't stress this enough. There is a big difference between being over a person and being over what they did to you and the damage that that caused. I am a little fearful that I will never be over the damage that that caused. I think it fucked me up a little bit, and that's something that I'm going to have to deal with for a long time. You know? So no, that's definitely not gone. The pain from that is not gone. The mental damage that caused me is not gone. So no, I mean, like, people are trying to, like, make it like it's a point. Oh, she's still hurt. Like, yeah, of course it's been 4 months. That's not that long. You know, and for it to be as severe as it was, and this is not the first relationship that's ended this way, it definitely is fucking with me. So, you know, am I like done with the emotional damage that has come from that? No. But am I over him as a person? Absolutely yes. I do not miss him. I have no desire to get back together with him. If he came back begging for me to get back together with him, I wouldn't. Like nothing, like honestly, I look back on my relationship with him and it makes me cringe. It makes me cringe that I could ever be with someone like that, or like even kiss someone like, I don't know. It just like, it makes me feel dirty to think about. Like I feel gross. I do cringe. So, you know, I think that's a pretty good indication of being over a person whenever you have not only no desire to be with them, but the idea of it actually makes your skin crawl. So it's not at all him that I'm not over. It's what he did and how badly that hurt and the trust issues that I'm going to have in the future because of it, you know? It's a very lonely, it makes me feel, even to this day, it makes me feel very lonely thinking about it because, and not because I miss him or miss being with someone, it's just a lonely feeling because I feel like even if I do find another person that I, you know, love, there's always going to be that lonely feeling that because of that voice in the back of my head that's going to be making me doubt it all. Like, is any of this real? I don't trust myself. And that's the problem. I don't trust myself that I have the ability to make good decisions in future relationships. And that's a very lonely feeling whenever you can't even feel confident and comfortable with the choices you make. I don't trust myself. And that's a scar that I'm going to have to try to heal over time. But it's definitely not going to happen this fast. People are like, oh, it's been 4 months. I'm like, you have no idea. Most of you are kids that have never even been in a real relationship. Don't try to tell me at what point I need to be better. Like, I'm not better. I'm not okay. You know? I'm not over what happened. I'm over him as a person. But no, I'm not over what happened. And people like tell me, oh, you must not be over it. Like they're, you know, exposing me. I'm like, well, yeah, no, I'm not. You know? It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that shit out. I'm not trying to hide it. You know? There's no part of me that's trying to hide that I'm not better. I am not fully healed from this, you know, shit that happened. I'm not. First step, stop talking about it. I disagree. I think that talking through your problems is a very healthy thing to do. You know? I've taken the route before where I bottled up things and didn't tell anyone, and it almost killed me. So I will never do that again. And it was funny, at the end of the video, my dad, you know, he knew that he knew. I said, Dad, there is a chance that somebody will respond and they all will most likely see this. Um, especially Richie. And he's like, I don't give a shit. He did not care. I'm like, okay, I'm just letting you know what you're in for. And I think that's why at the end of the video, he's like, if any of you are watching, I don't care. He does not give a shit. He don't give a shit, which is great. you know, and yeah, he threw some insults out there. But you know damn well if Richie were a good person, my dad would never have said any of those things. Everybody does it. Every human being who has feelings does the same thing. That, whenever someone hurts you, it feels good to yell. It feels good to insult them, But if Richie were a good person, you think my dad would have said any of that shit? No. As long as I was happy, he supported me. He didn't care. Yeah, he thought the outfit was weird, but what fucking father in there, like, my dad is like my dad, He's an older man. Like, he's not gonna look at someone dressed like Richie and be like, yeah, that's who I want my daughter to date. So that aspect of it's kind of funny. It is funny to think about. Like, my poor dad, whenever he saw a photo, like, my God, I put him through some things. And, just to have people see that side of my life, I thought was interesting. And my dad's a good person. Like I said, anybody who saw their kid go through something like that would be livid. I think, and from the conversations I've had with my dad off camera, he definitely held back a lot. He held back a lot of what he had to say in that video. I actually, I skipped through the video because, I'm not going to just sit there. I've already seen my video. I made it, so I didn't need to watch his video, so I just skipped through. And it kind of made me laugh because it was so bad. I'm just like, got nothing to say there, huh? Clearly. I mean, yeah, it's weird. It's weird. After everything that was said, he literally only had a sentence or two in response. It's like, okay, might as well just say, I can't come up with a good response to this, so I'm just going to sit here like a moron and try to leech views off of you and the video that you made, so I'm just going to re-upload it and sit here like an idiot. That should have been the title. Yeah, I am feeling much better. It was, the first week was awful. The first month was rough. I'm in a much better place now. Like I said before, I'm over him. I'm just not over the damage that mindfuck of a situation caused. Yeah, I don't know. I was just, imagine my mindset when that whole thing happened. I thought everything was great. We were at the beginning of this European tour that I was so thrilled to be on. I was gonna see the world. We were gonna spend extra days in Paris together. I was gonna go back and meet his family. We were planning on moving to Vegas together at some point. That was being talked about. That's where my head was. I was thinking super long term. And imagine being in that headspace and then reading messages like I read. Super explicit messages, finding naked pictures, conversations going back and forth on when and where to meet. I can't explain it. I cannot explain how that feels. It's hard to come back from something like that. It really is. I've found out before that other people have cheated on me, but it was always a one-time mistake, where they felt bad. He didn't even feel bad when I found out. He just sat there. With no expression, didn't hug me, didn't care that I was crying, could not have given less of a shit. It was just kind of I felt like I got hit by a ton of bricks. And people get mad at me for continuing to talk about it, but I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad at all. Any pain that I cause him, if he feels bad, if he sees stuff that I say and it hurts him, I do not possess the capacity to care whether or not he's hurting. I hope he is. He deserves it. He deserves it. You don't do that to somebody. You do not. I don't know. it's just very hard for me to feel bad. And people who sympathize with him to the point of attacking me for making funny videos with my dad. I mean, it's therapeutic in a sense, you know? To sit next to someone who loves me and who was there for me through this shit. And to joke and laugh. And, you know, as stupid as it is, it makes me feel better. You know? It makes me feel better when my dad talks about, you know, wanting to kick his ass. Because, like, I don't know, he's defensive over me. He cares about me. Like, it makes me feel better. It makes me feel loved. And if that if that comes off as negative, like, then you're crazy. You're crazy. He would never actually hurt anyone. Like I said, my dad's never punched a person in his life. He would never do it now. But to think about it, it does feel nice, and it feels nice to be, you know, sitting next to someone who loves me and feels protected. And after everything that I went through, I think I deserve that. And if it pisses people off that I'm saying this shit, then, you know, they can go, they can not watch my stuff. Don't watch it. I feel like I have the right, after what I've been through, to say and do whatever the fuck I want. And I don't deserve to get any flack for any of it. There's no angelic way to handle this situation. It's like people expect me to be poised at all times and to not be human and to not say things and to not do whatever I feel like I need to do to feel better and to heal. Like, it's just impossible for me to feel bad about that. You know, and if people are going to hound me about it, I'll just block them. I don't want to see it. People who sympathize with him make me sick. And like I said, they're not going to understand until they go through something like this, and I hope that they don't. I hope that no one does. It's awful. Even Richie, as much as I fucking can't stand him, and as much as I want him to feel miserable over what he did to me, I wouldn't want anybody to do that to him. Because it's so awful. Like, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. I really don't. The video with your dad was great. Well, thank you. I think it was too. I think, yeah, like I said, it just kind of showed a different side of the story. Like, everyone's seen me and the hurt that I went through, but, you know, people who are close to someone who goes through something like that, like, they hurt too. You know? It made my dad cry. I saw him cry a couple times whenever I was staying with him. You know, you don't want to see your kid go through that. That hurts. You know? Whenever someone does something that awful, it normally affects more than just the person. You know? I feel like it affected my mom. It affected my dad. They were both really worried about me. I think it affected a lot of you guys. Yeah, I mean, like, a lot of people watching were really emotionally invested. Like, they watched us, like, a lot of people were fans of us either together or, like, separately before the two of us even met. You know, and then you see these two people that come together and you know, you like them both or whatever, or you know one of them and then you start to get to know the other one and you like that one or whatever. You get emotionally invested in the relationship, and I feel like the audience felt a little lied to too. And they were. I don't know why people who support him aren't more mad that they were deceived as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, the whole thing was a lie, not only to me, but to everyone watching. I feel like it was just an act that was put on so he could make cute videos with the title girlfriend or wife in them. And that's what he wanted me for. And not a whole lot else. That's why he, you know, I think he knew very early on that he didn't want a serious relationship and led me to believe that that's what I was going to get because he wanted to keep someone around that he could put in his videos. You know, I was loving, I was invested in him, I was willing to help him with whatever he needed help with. I went out of my way to help him with his projects. You know, so I was definitely an asset. And on top of all of that, I have my own YouTube audience that he was definitely able to get a hold of. So, you know, there were a lot of pros to keeping me around, and I don't think any of those reasons were love. I definitely think I was 100% used. He knew he didn't want to take me seriously. I don't think you could. I don't think you could be with someone and expect to take them seriously and then do what he did, as much as he did it. You know? So, not only was I lied to and deceived, everyone watching was, you know, kind of fed a bunch of bullshit too. I don't know why people who are supporting him aren't pissed too. I would be. I don't know.